Sometimes it feels like the whole world's gone into this sadomasochistic BDSM weirdness. Everyone wearing weird items of clothing on their face. But hey, the safe word is exempt. Okay, it's Wednesday the 4th. We're in the Arndale Centre again. Busy, 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 because this is the last non-quarantine day for God knows how long. They say 4 weeks, but remember when they said 2 weeks to flatten the curve? Do you remember that? Do you remember when it used to be about the virus? Well,
in line with government guidelines, please wear your face covering at all times within the stores and on the malls. Please use the hand sanitizer dispensers situated around the centre and adhere to social distancing guidelines, following the one-way system in place and keeping to the left of the mall. Thank you for your cooperation.
You're welcome. So as they saw, craziness continues. Here it says, I am JD. This is JT Sports. They sell sportswear. Look at sportswear. But how much am I not the target demographic when all I can see here is snarling drug dealer? That's all I see. Oh, hi! What the hell's this? Let's zoom out, give you context. You love context. It's a giant spinning bobble. So last night, the United Kingdom government raised the terror threat level from substantial to severe, meaning that they expect a terror attack anytime now. I have seen armed police in central Manchester, and what a coinkydink, huh? The day that the American election was supposed to be decided, the very last day of potentially the old world before the permanent lockdowns of the Great Reset, and shooty jihadis are getting active again around Europe. Bloody hell. I mean, it's interesting, but the old Chinese proverb, the curse, let them live in interesting times. Sun Tzu said, if you wait by the river long enough, the bodies of your enemies will float by. Well, it only took 40 years, but I finally actually slipped on a banana skin. Could 2020 get any stranger? Nowadays, when I come to the city centre with Isaac in the pram, I avoid the Crackhead Gardens at Piccadilly. There's just too much going on, and I've taken precautions, of course, you know, armoured gloves. I've had to push a few people a few times, but it's no place to take a baby anymore. So we stick in the posh parts, spinning fields, south of Deansgate, or sorry, should I say north of Deansgate. Just by the river, by the Lowry Hotel. And we're currently on Bridge Street. Do you know why they call it Bridge Street? Can you guess? In my last video, many of you commented on the drunken looking idiot who wrecked his umbrella in front of me in some sort of weird ritual. Like, and I said I was going to have to stop filming and punch him or sort him out. Well, I gave him repeated warnings. I put my camera away so I could use two hands, and I was baby free, of course. But I told him, I said, look, come too close to me, I'll defend myself. So he's like, oh, I can stand wherever I want. And so he started edging closer to me. Now, knowing enough about the law around self-defense, I allowed him to get about 1 meter away from me, and then when he started getting closer than 1 meter, I pushed him very hard. And the look of woundedness, oh my God, why are you assaulting me? And guess what? He didn't come over again. He didn't. Why is force necessary? I'll tell you why force is necessary. Because not everyone is an evolved human being. Most people, including the drunks and crackheads and assholes in the world, operate at maybe an 11-year-old level of emotional and psychological sophistication. And, oh, some solar glare. look at the sun. Here comes the sun. After 15 days of rain, we need some sun. So anyway, crackhead drunken extraordinaire who I had to push, that was at the end of the day. At the start of the day, I hope I've not deleted it, but I'll have to delete this section if I've deleted the other footage. He hollered at me from behind, came up behind me, tapped me on one shoulder, so I turned that way, and then he tried to steal my phone from the other side. And I got quite angry at him. Now let's find the footage. Black Lives Matter banner has been unfurled at the furlough people.
Turn it off.
Fuck you for touching me, twat. Who are you? Why did you come up and grab my camera? Who are you? Who the fuck are you? Who the fuck are you? You know what? You're small. I'm big. Touch me again. Go on. Touch me again, you fucking cunt. Yeah, and I'll be even more aggressive if you touch me again, you fucking cunt. Thank you. No, listen. Fuck you. Don't touch me again, you fucking cunt. Thank you. He's gesticulating to the police. You're not going to touch me again, are you?
Test, track and trace, isolate and support has been put in the hands of private profiteers who don't care about our safety.
Look at that guy, he's trying to report me to the police. Yeah, well done you. Of course you would, mate. Of course you would. Big man. Whew! I said the word cunt more times than a drunken Scotsman having an argument. Now, why did I do that? I'm not sure if it came out in video, so let me describe what happened. I was walking towards the socialist workers' little stand talking about furlough and lockdown. Someone starts hollering, and you know, I was in the middle of a video, didn't know if it was for me, so he taps me on this shoulder, and so I turn around, and he goes around the other side and tries to grab my camera to steal it. And then he failed to grab it off me, so he's like, oh, stop filming, put your camera away, put your camera away. And whew, I was wearing the crackhead skullcracker, but I was a lot bigger than him, so once again, no punches thrown, and that's a good thing. Salford's not all bad. I mean, you've got the Salford Art Gallery, which is covered in scaffolding, and you've got some more buildings from the University of Salford, as you can see here. A bit of red brick, but red brick done well. Now, there are some very nice carvings on this building, but we're not going to get to see it now. Good morning, everyone. It's Charlie from Lockdown United Kingdom. I'm in the queue at Tim Hortons with all the other cars. The roads are busy. We're going to head into the city centre so Isaac can chase some pigeons. And I'm going to report to see whether this is a real lockdown or whether it's a legalese lockdown to keep the voters and the NPCs happy, which is what I suspect. Woo! When you're so closed, you become temporarily closed. When all of space-time stops for the lockdown. Temporarily closed. Noise man during lockdown. Okay, remember the 5th of November. Gunpowder, treason and plot. And not just in Seattle, Portland, Washington DC are they boarding stuff up. They're also doing it here in Manchester. This is St. Anne's Courtyard next to La Church, and I don't know what they're expecting. So I held off for a couple of days before discussing the American 2020 election. It seems so close with, on the surface of things, in the mainstream, Biden edging ahead. But again, there's scandals in many states, something about the mail-in ballots and things being filled in incorrectly. Now, if you're over 40, like I am, you may remember the hanging chads from Gore versus, was it Bush? Baby's taking his shoes off, excuse me. Okay, trying again. So, if you remember the year 2000, I think, yes, George Bush Jr., the monkey boy, he stole the election from Gore, or legally won the election from Gore. I think Al Gore got more votes. That was an inconvenient truth. And because of the hanging chads, there was some very strict law. The ballots had to be filled in or clicked or punched a certain way, and they weren't. Now all the news is starting to come out from Michigan, Arizona, other states, that up to 22% of the mail-in ballots may need to be rejected, which could wipe out Biden's lead. Now, a lot of this may very well be coping mechanisms from Trump supporters. There's some issue now with blockchain and watermarks, and it's all getting desperate. And because the election is a giant civil war in itself, a bloodless civil war, the first casualty of any war is the truth. So we're just gonna have to wait and see. You know, the lawyers are involved, the legalese is involved, the archaic small print's involved. So one thing I will say is that whoever wins, Biden or Trump, I think there's going to be very big riots. I think people are going to revert to chimpanzees and subhumans and primates, and they're going to go hollering and screeching through the streets, smashing everything up. I saw a video this morning from Seattle or Portland, I forget, and it was a bunch of BLM activists smashing up Joe Biden's supporter's house. Ouroboros, ladies and gentlemen, the snake is eating itself. Piccadilly Gardens. Oh, thanks, Isaac. Just start screaming as soon as I start. So Piccadilly Gardens, 5th of November. A police inspector and his larger compatriot, heavy police presence. They're just walking around, because I'll tell you what happens in lockdown. I mean, society's gone a little bit cashless anyway, but during the lockdowns, the city centre, which is full of junkies and crackheads that rely on the naivety of the public to give them money, they don't get any money. And with the retail shops closed, the shoplifting opportunities are far less, and so the crackheads get a bit nasty. They turn into zombies out of The Walking Dead. So our boys in the fluorescent greeny yellow are here to clear out these fucking scumbags from the city centre. I've got no pity, none. The crackheads, the evil people, the nasty people, they are mocking the people who have suffered as children and still choose the light. They choose the dark. So there you go. City centre, Manchester. At least it's not raining. A few weeks ago I was walking through Piccadilly Gardens, and one of the crackheads goes, "How can you push a baby when you're a policeman?" And so I just kind of play on that. In fact, it was this guy in the blue backpack and the yellow. He thinks I'm an undercover cop. doing a drive-by video. Morning, officers. All good, all good. Well, there we go. Now I'm going to get you. Well, everyone, the shopping malls are open. Look at this, we're in the Arndale. Everything's open. Everything to do with food anyhow. So, worst lockdown ever. Shopping malls are open, schools are open, universities are open, opticians are open, supermarkets are open. Most things are open. I'm starting to think that the governments of the world are using the noble lie. They're using just keeping up appearances. They're using the illusion of safety to keep everyone happy. Strange. But then again, they'd lose the next election if they didn't do all this. Even Labour, Keir Starmer, who fired Jeremy Corbyn, he's agreeing with this lockdown, so I want to say something very serious to you all, my darling viewers. You know, it's very easy to fall into worry, panic, paranoia, conspiracy theorizing, and I think a bit of conspiracy theorizing can keep groups alive. People did a bit more of that in the 20th century. Maybe they could have actually prevented a few atrocities, but no, they'd never do that. They'd never put us in camps. Come on, it's just for a few months, guys. There's no gas chambers. It's not, they're not going to round up a quarter of every Russian city to send to Siberia. Nah, they'd never do that. Guys, maybe if they'd theorized a little bit more paranoid, we could have prevented tens of millions of deaths in the 20th century. But the reason I'm raising this, look, the Great Reset was written 10 years ago as a kind of reaction to the 2008-2009 credit crunch. And then it got forgotten about. But it's been resurrected now, this whole idea, the fourth industrial revolution. Hello, gentlemen. Oh, I lost my train of thought now. So they got resurrected now, so it's just an idea. It's just a think tank. And if some corporations get on board, is that not just the same as corporations jumping on board to climate change, green initiatives, use less paper, no plastic straws? I think it might be. So, what's his name? Carl Schwab? Cotton Bud Schwab? What's his name? Klaus Schwab. So maybe he's just an old man with an old idea. Right, he's screaming. Let's stop this. I've seen some very strange ideas circulating about confiscation of private property and big internment camps and end of capitalism as we know it, and I don't believe it's going to be that bad. I mean, with everything, I saw some leaked documents at the start of the coronavirus pandemic that was equally alarmist and terrifying, and people love to spread a bit of panic. It's part of the drama, part of the cosmic dance we're all doing with ourselves. So, I think if anything needs to be said, it needs to be, Charlie, calm down. Oh, my phone's ringing. Let's answer it. I do honestly think, I do hand on heart think that my paranoia over the Great Reset was a little bit too high. And any financial organization, it's just because the World Economic Forum is a big powerful one. Davos is a big powerful one. So, we're here outside a very open Marks and Spencer's, and as it says, hello Manchester. I think the dividing line between essential and non-essential and lockdown and not lockdown is blurred now. Now it's literally enforcing the complete NPCization of the masses. Literally keep the grannies safe at home. Government can't just do a U-turn and say, actually, we were worried at the start, but we're not now. They've got to maintain this, stick to their guns about how serious it is. It's not serious anymore. As Donald Trump said, coming out of his hospital, don't be scared of it. Don't let the coronavirus rule your life. And it's today, the 5th of November, the Remember, Gunpowder, Treason and Plot, that I came out fully expecting everything to be apocalyptic again and close like it was in March, April, start of May. But it's busy. Look at that, even a jogger. The city's busy. It was all an illusion. I think this will be the last lockdown. 2nd of December, Parliament's going to not vote for another one. They're going to maintain that crazy tier system. Tram, look, tram, there you go. So, nobody's resetting shit. It's all going to go back to normal. This whole digital stay at home and meet over a video call, that's all fun and exciting now, but people like a human touch. We've had Skype, we've had Messenger, we've had video conferencing for 25 years. People still fly to Tokyo for a meeting. They still go to a restaurant to seduce a client. So it's not going to work. None of it's going to work. Everything's going to go back to normal. I'm going to have to make my videos a bit more interesting now. Maybe expand a bit. Charlie Veitch, the YouTube channel about everything. It was going to be about lockdown today, but there is no lockdown. You know, some mornings you just wake up with an extra spring. I kind of woke up, jumped out of bed, didn't even need a coffee straight away, took the baby downstairs, put CBBS on for him, Hey Dougie's on, looked at the news, fantastic drama from Biden and Trump. There's like armed Trump supporters in Arizona. There's like Antifa smashing up Seattle. I'm just gonna look. Oh, there you go. There's a nice background. So yeah, there's a lot going on. There's a massive amount going on. Now, it's got to the point where, and I'll be honest, I'll be very honest. I honestly, deep down in my heart, not really care. I don't really care whether Trump or Biden wins. I think there's too many permanent financial interests at play for a presidential candidate to be that important. Now I know there's a slight change in culture, there's a change in ethos, and maybe unemployment may go down with one candidate or the other. But ultimately, it's the same shit. George Bush, Bill Clinton, Barack Obama, Al Gore, Donald Trump, Joe Biden. It's all the same guy. I didn't even say Hillary Clinton. Nice to meet you, Lady President. So yeah, like I'm out with a baby. I've had a couple of nice coffees just now. Lockdown isn't real lockdown. I've suddenly realized it's the noble lie. The reason why I've not been chased down and knocked on the door, why are you doing this? Why are you admitting all these lockdown breaches? The reason they're not doing anything is because they know deep in their hearts that it's all bullshit. They know. But they just have to keep up appearances for now. Because whichever party's in government, right now obviously it's the Tories, Conservatives, they're not going to suddenly do a U-turn and all the little Englanders, all the little proletarians, all the little village type people, they would punish the government if they turned around and said it's not that bad by voting them out. They'd vote for that slick-haired weirdo with a funny name, Keir Starmer, Stormtrooper, Keir Starmer. Funny times, guys. Very, very funny times. Let's pause this. Final one I want to talk about was a very sad story. There's a lady, her mother who's 73, and her grandmother who's 97. Now the 97-year-old, very frail and in a care home, she had not seen her family for 9 months since the lockdown. Now we all know 1 in 16 residents in care homes died during the April-May time. Old people die. That's what they do. Especially in care homes. Now, this 73-year-old, extremely distressed that she had not held, hugged, cuddled, kissed, been in the same room as her 97-year-old mother, she decided she'd had enough. Because it's quite clear at that age, if you're frail and old, that you're going to die any day. Now, a bigger tragedy than getting coronavirus and dying as a 97-year-old is spending the last year of your life literally under house arrest, not allowed to hold your loved ones, or kissed them, that is literally being held in a worse condition as an innocent person than a Category A prisoner or Category B prisoner at HMP Manchester Strangeways. I went to visit a friend at HMP Wandsworth, and I was allowed to hang out with him for 3 hours. Fair enough, we didn't kiss or cuddle too much, but it was cool, man. But the reason I raise it, all around us, female visitors to male prisoners practically having facial sex in front of us. Fair enough, what else are you gonna do? So to keep a woman who's almost 100 away from her family, nah, it doesn't sit right with me. So the 73-year-old barged her way in. The apparatchik, bureaucratic pieces of shit staff said, no, 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 you're not allowed to see your mum. Coronavirus, coronavirus. So she pushed her way in. She took her mum's wheelchair and she wheeled her out. Now, any reasonable person would say, whoa, something quite personal. A very private act is taking place here. I'm going to respect it because the woman's 97. She's earned her right to see her family. But no, what did the care home staff do? They called the police. Little suckers of Satan's cock, little snitching scumbags getting in the way of a 73-year-old and her mother. What utter garbage human beings. And I'm glad that the care home and those staff are now famous on social media for literally filleting Satan's cock all the way to the hilt. Fucking scum. So the video plays as the granddaughter films her mum, and get this, the police in England, they put a 73-year-old woman, it's my mum's age, in handcuffs in the back of a police car and dragged the 97-year-old frail lady back to her care home. So it was a failed escape, failed family get-together. Fuck those police, fuck those care staff people, and anyone in my future tries to pull that shit on me, I'll come for you many months later, cold in the night. Because you fuck with me, you've got a name, you've got an address, you will suffer. And here's the thing, not to get dramatic, I'm gonna fucking sort everyone, no, but one way civil society, polite society is held together is knowing that you don't fuck with people because they will fuck back, sometimes 10 times worse. That's all I have to say. Oink oink.